How's it going, guys? Cody back again, dropping yet another video. Right, guys, as you can see from the title of this video, it's on serial killer by the name of Angus Sinclair. Now, Angus Sinclair was known as the world's end killer. He was a paedophile, he was a rapist, he was a serial killer. He was convicted of 4 murders, but was suspected to be behind at least 4 others. The reason I know all this is because I used to write to Angus Sinclair. He died in March of 2019 at HMP Glenorchill in Scotland. As you can see, HMP Glenorchill at the top. It was from 2015, and I don't know if the camera's going to get it in there, but his name is there. He was a cleaner. He had several strokes whilst he was inside, and like I said, there's a letter there as well, one of them. Right, so I'm going to read the story, guys. I'm going to do my bit at the end. Like I said, this guy died in his bed, lonely, incontinent, and all the good stuff that you'd expect of a dirty fucking wrong'un. So I'm going to read the story, guys. This is in the Daily Record, so I'll put a link in the description below if you want to read at your own leisure. Headline reads, Family of World's End monster Angus Sinclair snub death probe into serial killer's jail death. The courts required by law to hold a fatal accident inquiry because Sinclair died in prison, but his next of kin don't propose to participate. The family of World's End monster Angus Sinclair will not take part in the formal inquiry into the serial killer's death in jail it has emerged. The courts required by law to hold a fatal accident inquiry because Sinclair died in prison, but Crown Court Office lawyer Karen Rollo told Stirling Sheriff Court yesterday his next of kin don't propose to participate or attend. A source said it is entirely to be expected that they would snub him in death. Sinclair was convicted of 4 killings. He raped and strangled Catherine Rehill, 7, in Glasgow when he was 16, and hid her body. Obviously, God bless Catherine Rehill. This goes back, guys, decades. 16 years later, he murdered Christine Eady and Helen Scott, both 17. God bless them, but may they both rest in peace, who were last seen at the World's End pub in Edinburgh. Hence why he was given the label, the World's End Killer. He was not convicted until 2014 after advances in DNA technology. And while free, he murdered Mary Gallagher, 17, in Glasgow in 1978, another case which was solved years later by DNA, and he committed a catalogue of rapes and sexual assaults. Police strongly suspect Sinclair of 4 more murders, those of Frances Barker, 37, Hilda Macaulay, 36, Agnes Cooney, 23, and Anna Kenny, 20, all in 1977. God bless all 4 ladies. Sinclair was given a 37-year minimum term in 2014 for murdering Christine and Helen, the longest ever imposed by a Scottish court. He was 73 when he died in HMP Glenorchill, near Alloa, on March the 11th last year, reportedly after suffering a series of strokes. He did, because even in that first letter, he spoke about how bad his writing was and apologised because of the strokes. Stirling Sheriff Willie Robertson set March 4th as the date for the inquiry, but no new revelations are expected. He said, I have seen the medical records, prison records and autopsy report. It's quite clear from all the pages I have read and what has been agreed is that he died of natural causes and there is no issue arising in relation to the care of the prison service or any other parties. Unfortunately, we still have to have a hearing. And that is it. So an FAI, or a fatal accident inquiry, is the Scottish equivalent to what we've got, which is the Prison and Probation Ombudsman investigation. FAI's Prison and Probation Ombudsman, like I said, north of the border. Justice has been devolved to Scotland, so they're in charge of their own courts and their own prisons and everything. But yeah, a fatal accident inquiry, when someone dies in prison, it is just mandatory that they've got to have an FAI, or a fatal accident inquiry, to establish the cause of death, the circumstances, was the failings, etc., etc. Now, normally, when there's a death in custody, you like I said, this is from March 2019, yeah, man. Normally, I'd be very respectful and very polite and very courteous. No. This guy was a fucking scumbag, right? And like I said, people's brains, they work one way. And like I said, the fact that I used to write to Angus was, again, I've wrote to Ian Brady, I wrote to Dennis Nielsen, I've wrote to Stephen Port, I've wrote to countless serial killers, not just in England, abroad as well. I was raised and had a morbid sort of interest in, well, it's not a morbid interest. It's like, why do serial killers commit the crimes that they do? It's like I'm like an uneducated psychology student, if you will, or forensic psychology student, right? But it fascinates me in true crime, how people's brains work, right? Like I said, I'm an uneducated kid. I've not got a GCSE to my name, right? But I was just interested. And as such, I had a rough childhood myself, but I used to watch serial killer documentaries. When I was allowed out of my room, I used to watch serial killer documentaries. It was just the dumb thing. It's just something that fascinates me. Some people grow up with an interest in music or gaming or whatever the case may be. I from a young age, was fascinated by serial killers. And everyone watches the documentaries on crime and investigation and Channel 5 and all these amazing serial killer documentaries that they do. I take it a step further and write to the individual, because you see what's portrayed and stuff like that. And like I say, there's always an element of truth to what they're doing. But there's nowhere better to hear from the horse's mouth, so to speak, than to write to the individual. So like I've said, I wrote to Angus Sinclair. Like I said, I don't know if that's going to pick it up. Let me just clear my screen. So this, in layman's terms, it just, HMP Glen O'Chill, convicted canteen order sheet, cell number 3/41, prison number 12235, name Sinclair Angus Robertson, Hall Abercrombie, wages forwarded £384, that's obviously what he's had. Weekly wage of £7, plus PPC to wages £20, plus additions 54p, less TV, GA and sundries £1, total to spend £410. And he's filled it in as well, like he's ordered Iron Brew and strawberry Yahoo milkshakes and 3 pouches of Amber Leaf, which a total cost of £12.84. What else has he got on the back? And then he's filled something at the bottom as well. So there's the back of the canteen sheet. There's the front of it. Like I said, in this corner here, I don't know if it's focusing, but I'll take a picture and I'll put it at the start. And then this was, I've got his other letters somewhere, but this was the first letter that he ever wrote back to me. So he signed it at the top, Gus Sinclair. Again, prison number 12235. And then he just put North 3/41, so that's his cell. Yes, I'm in receipt of your letter, Wednesday the 14th of the 10th, 2015. Please excuse my writing since I had a stroke, right hand side, and I'm right-handed. My writing has suffered. It was good of you to write to something surprise indeed, and yes, there are TV. Oh, do you know what? His writing was really bad. There was a TV the other week, which I managed to watch. I didn't know you were talking about. I'm glad. And he mentions Ian Brady here, because I mentioned Brady. You are writing with Ian Brady, and that you taking to do with his demise, something upon his demise. Do you know what, guys? I won't try and read it because it's like trying to decipher it. This was the first letter that I ever received, right, from him. Right, so you can see his name there at the top, Gus Sinclair. Obviously, Gus short for Angus, and then it just goes on. Right, that was the first letter. Further down the line, he goes on to send me his canteen sheet. Like I said, I don't know if that's there. I don't know if you can see the writing there. I really don't know. But yeah, so the fact is, he died last year, right? It takes time for a fatal accident inquiry to come around. He was a scumbag, guys. Absolutely. Just because I write to these people, I think people are stupid and in the mindset, oh, well, if you write to somebody, then you're supporting them. No, no, no. Don't confuse intrigue with supporting somebody. I've got an interest. Like I said, I heard about him. Angus Sinclair, like I said, serial killer, killed 4 people. He was a fucking paedophilic rapist, right? And just child murderer, because he obviously killed a girl when she was 7. He was 16 at the time, right? Depraved scumbag. And if I was ever in prison with him, he was obviously going to be on the VP wing, but I would have attacked him and smashed his head in. But like I said, when you're writing to people, you've got to go nice with them. If you start writing to someone and you're trying to get information out of them, like I said, there was 4. He was suspected to be behind 4 other murders, right? Probably more than that. So that takes his tally to 8. He was convicted of 4. The police believe he committed at least 8. Like I said, rapist, a whole host of sexual assaults and rapes and everything. And like I've said, if I was in prison with a guy, I would have smashed his fucking head in. But like I said, I write to people because the crimes were unsolved. My attitude was, and I had the same approach with Brady and Stephen Port. Stephen Port was on remand for fucking 4 counts of murder and countless sexual assaults and everything. The grinder killer, Stephen Port. And he's writing to me whilst he's on remand for the murders, and he's telling me X, Y, and Z. And it's like, fucking hell. Ian Brady, my angle with Brady was simply because I was a criminal. Everyone that was writing to him had an agenda, right? Journalists, psychology students, forensic psychology students, doctors of psychology, doctors of criminology students, X, Y, and Z, right? I used the fact that I was from Manchester, where he lived when he committed these crimes, when he lived on Attersley Estate. I was a criminal. I was from the criminal fraternity, and I used that angle to get close to him. Now, Brady was an intelligent guy. People said, oh, he was a pseudo-intellectual. He wasn't really intellectual. Other people said he was intelligent, ahead of his time. The fact is I wrote to them. And as much as Brady thought he was manipulating me and everything, I was actually manipulating Brady. A thick, uneducated street kid, I wanted to see if I could hold a conversation with this man. And I did it with Angus Sinclair, and I did it with Dennis Nielsen, and I did it with Angus Sinclair, and I did it with Ian Brady, and I did it with Stephen Port. Like I said, I stopped doing it. I became bored of keep writing to people. You invest a lot of time and effort. You have to do research into the background of these people, what are their hobbies and interests. You have to make yourself relevant to them. And then obviously when you're writing to them, you don't have to send them money, but I chose to send them money because if you're trying to get someone to get on side and talk to you and let the guard down and trust you, sending them 20 quid there and 20 quid there. And that's what I used to do. But like I said, I give it up a few years ago, guys. Like I said, I wrote to Angus Sinclair up until 2019, shortly before his death. I don't know if he received my last letter or what, or he just didn't reply, or he was just in such bad health. But what I'm going to do as well, before I finish the video off, is I'm going to quickly read the Wikipedia reference, the World's End Murders, which I'll put in the description below. So the World's End Murders, this is on Wikipedia. The World's End Murders is the colloquial name given to the murders of 2 girls, Christine Eady and Helen Scott, both 17, in Edinburgh in October of 1977. The case is so named because both victims were last seen alive leaving the World's End pub in Edinburgh's Old Town. The only person to stand trial accused of their murders, Angus Sinclair, was acquitted in 2007 in controversial circumstances following the amendment of the law of double jeopardy, in which would have prevented his retrial. Sinclair was retried in October of 2014 and convicted of both murders on the 14th of November 2014. He was sentenced to life imprisonment with a minimum term of 37 years, the longest sentence by a Scottish court ever handed down, meaning he would have to be 106 years old when he was eligible for potential release on parole. He died at HMP Glenorchill at age 73 on 11th of March 2019. Coincidentally, he died on the same day the BBC's Crime Watch Roadshow programme profiled the murders. In addition to Edie and Scott, Sinclair pleaded guilty to the culpable homicides of 8-year-old neighbour Catherine Rehill in Glasgow in 1961 when he was 16, and was given another life sentence in 2001 for the 1978 murder of 17-year-old Mary Gallagher on a footpath in Glasgow. He is believed to have killed 4 other women between 1977 and 1978, all within a 7-month period of the murders of Edie and Scott. God bless them both. May they both rest in peace. I'm going to leave it there, guys. So like I said, I want to know people's opinions. Obviously, this guy's scumbag died in his cell, covered in his own piss and shit. From what I've read on another story, he was incontinent, couldn't make it to the toilet, and he died in pain, lonely, and fucking rightly so. Do you know what I'm saying? What do you think about me writing to him? Do you think it's the right thing? Do you think it's a wrong thing? Is it just an interest? Are you interested in true crime? You'll have to let me know, guys. But like I said, I've got his letters somewhere, but I literally just opened a box and just found his thing from HMP Glen Chill. But I'll take a picture of this and put it at the start of the video, guys. God bless all the victims of Angus Sinclair. May ye burn in hell. Gonna leave it there, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Cody out.